Compass Cat here. I pray the navigator doesn't catch me, but I have got an old video of his that I'm gonna put up showing him hustling his tennis tip calendar. He using it as his foundation for his latest 31 tennis tip video soon to be uploaded. I thought I'd play this one from around 2010 when he didn't look like a dried prune. I think that witch doctor in the Congo put a curse on him, but we will probably never know. Just remember Compass Cat for present. Trump and Harris are afterthoughts, cats rule.
Hello, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Darrell Snively. I'm 62 years old. I've spent 50 years in tennis, either as a player, a teaching pro, a coach, and a trainer of tennis players, hundreds of them, maybe thousands. I'm a nobody when it comes to the tennis world, but I think I was a good coach, tennis pro to my students. So to them, I'm not. I've always been a tennis nut. I love the game. I have learned a lot about the game. I still think I have a lot to give to people about the game. I have a lot to learn myself. That's one of the things I admire about Nick Bollettieri. He openly admits he learns from his students. He doesn't act like he's got all the answers, but he's got principles that he goes by, and I think those have served him well and served his students well. Obviously, a very good work ethic is the key to success. Well, I've spent some time and taken some of the knowledge that I've got in the game, and I've created a tennis tip calendar. This calendar is for 2011, and I laid it out with a Monday to Sunday format, not the traditional Sunday on the left side and Saturday on the right side. I think most people start their week on Monday and they end it on Sunday, and then it's time to go back to work again on Monday. So that's the way this calendar is laid out. What I've done is I've collected thousands of photos, open source photos from the internet, and I've used many of those and put them into collages for each month to illustrate the different tips and concepts of my tennis tip calendar. For example, January shows a lot of players at the beginning, and the beginning is, unless you're serving, a ready position, ready to return serve. And as most people have had lessons or have looked at tennis instruction, then the next thing is to talk about is making that initial pivot of the upper body and the shoulders in order to get the racket back. Versus what too many people do is they just take their arm back, and that doesn't really accomplish the preparation of the body to perform really good biomechanics in the swing of the racket. So that is basically what that first month is about. It shows a lot of the different players and photos of them that illustrate it. In addition, the calendar has all the major Grand Slam events. Of course, that's where the men and the women play together. And then it includes the events in the United States where men and women play together. For example, in February, there's a tournament listed in Memphis. That is just a lower tier tournament on the ATP and the WTA. That's the beauty of it, though. 1 week in Memphis at an indoor club, and they've usually got 1 or 2 top 10 players in the world playing in the men's and the women's event simultaneously. That's what is great about the tournament. So for very reasonable prices each day, you get a chance to see the pros up very close, because they work on 3 courts, and 2 of the courts are just open seating, first come, first serve. And then they have a main stadium court that seats about, I think, 5,000 people. There you have an assigned seat. But early in the tournament, you can pretty much move around and sit where you want. It is absolutely an excellent tournament to take someone who has never seen professional tennis, because it is indoors and the game is very fast. And so that date is noted in February in my tennis tip calendar. I end up the calendar, I'll let the secret out of the bag here, by simply, my last tip is go see a Grand Slam tournament. You'll never forget it. Obviously, travel costs, not as much if you just go to the U.S. Open. Tickets, in other words, a little bit more expensive. I've been to all the Grand Slams with the exception of the French Open. And that's one of the things that I will do, hopefully, before somebody says my eulogy at my funeral. I hope that I've got a chance to go see the French Open. I would say it's probably the most expensive. Airfare, hotel, all that. Now, I'm no longer married, free to do what I want. So I travel very inexpensively. I love it. I stay in youth hostels. I did so in Melbourne for the full 2 weeks. Only spent about $250 for all the tickets, because I didn't buy into the 2 stadiums each day. I just bought 2 5-day passes at $100 a piece, and then chose a couple of days to go out and buy a ticket in the main in Rod Laver, or at the time when I went, it was Vodafone. I don't know what they call it now, but they've got 2 main stadiums. And sort of like Arthur Ashe and Armstrong Stadium at the U.S. Open. So it was fabulous, very good tournament, and you're just not going to regret going to see a Grand Slam. I mean, everybody should see Wimbledon someday. It's really quite something to see all the beautiful grass courts. I was there as a coach with one of my players back in 1985, the year that Becker burst on the scene and won it at age 17. So I've spent a lot of time traveling, and I plan to leave at sometime within the next year, and over the winter spend most of it in Chile. And I'll take in their ATP Pro event, which is in Santiago. It's always nice to build any vacation around an ATP or WTA tournament. You got an automatic connection through tennis, and it just makes the trip, to me, 10 times more enjoyable. Of course, I love watching tennis at any level. Some of the best experiences I've had. I think the most significant experience I had was walking around the U.S. Open, just having to come up on, I think it was court 17 at the time. It was right outside Armstrong Stadium. You could actually watch it from the ramps that you go up to the higher levels of the stadium. And there was a young lady playing. This was the second week, so this is when the juniors were starting to play. And she caught my eye, and I had to watch her for a while. Well, that young lady was Steffi Graf. And I made a point to a couple of friends of mine, coaches. I said, this gal is different. She is going to be great. And they said, oh, she's good. But I said, no, she's going to be great. Because she wasn't a clone. She wasn't just somebody hitting semi-Western forehand and a two-handed backhand and with a mediocre serve. She had a good serve. She had a fantastic one-handed slice backhand, which is one of my favorites, because my favorite player is Ken Rosewall, and that's his signature shot. And I have fun watching and making predictions. At the Australian Open in 2008, I watched two sisters play doubles. And they beat the Chinese team that had won an Olympic medal in Athens, I believe. And I noted to a couple of coaches there, I said, I think the Bondarenko sisters just may win this thing. And they laughed at me. I got the last laugh because they did win it. I never felt so good. It's fun to watch all the players, and that's the beauty of when you go to the Grand Slams or Indian Wells or Miami or Cincinnati this coming summer. 2011, top men, top women playing simultaneously throughout the week. And from my hometown, that's only about a 5-hour drive. So it's something I try to take in every year. And especially since I've started with photography and video, it's a chance for me to get my own set of good photographs of the players that illustrate many of the points that I make in this calendar. Let me finish up with just saying this is a good present for any tennis player in your family or any player among your friends. You can pick it up at pro shops for around $25. Now you may say that's a lot of money to pay for a calendar. But I guarantee you this is chock full of some information that will make it as equal to or better than a single private tennis lesson, which is way in excess of $25 today. A good 1-hour lesson, I feel like this calendar will stack up against that easily. So, hope to meet you sometime, get to know you. By having a little video here, I would hope that you get to know me. I'm hoping to do a lot of things with video, with photography. We can already make player collages, print out posters as big as life size, 2 feet by 6, 7 feet. We can make nice framed posters, 13 inches by 19 inches, that are collages of your favorite player. About 20 to 25 different photographs in the collages. And those are only, I think, $15. Very inexpensive gift, but very unique. So there's many things. I'm getting ideas by traveling. The thing I tell most is you can use the Tennis Tip calendar as a fundraiser for your local athletic teams, whether it be a USTA team tennis team that wants money to travel to nationals. You could send in a bunch of photographs of the team. Then we can make up the calendar built around your team rather than now all the pro photo inserts. The tips are still going to be good. Maybe the players illustrating them won't be quite as good, but it'll be personal. You can go to the teams at your local high school. In quantity, and we always give better pricing the more product that anybody buys from us. It's a simple concept. Someone starts out and does the initial package to raise money, that they can have a packet of 10 calendars for $15 each. If they send in their photos and we do it. If we come do a photo shoot and make up the calendar off our photo shoot of your team, then we charge an additional $50. But if you can send in 30, 40, 50, 60 photographs of the team in action, team photos, give us the schedule, we can drop that into whatever format calendar you want. We can actually start on any month and end on any month for a year. We can switch back and forth between a Monday through Sunday week format or Saturday through Sunday week format. please let us know. We're at www.focusontennis.net, as in tennisnet. We're always looking for new and better products that can individualize the game of tennis for tennis players. So this is old Darrell Snively, Nolly, Illinois, saying glad to meet you. Please think about trying one of our products.
Well folks, I got caught by the Undertaker Navigator. He said he's got a body bag that hasn't been used, so I better straighten up and help him throw this idea out again. Does he know that I've got to get out to campaign for president? How am I gonna beat Trump and Harris? If he's got me out trying to push this tennis tip calendar idea again. Well, it's either do this or starve to death because he'll cut off my food. The man is just absolutely ruthless. If any of you out there want to try to raise some money, email Undertaker Navigator at darreluss@gmail.com and he will talk to you about doing a photo shoot, creating a personalized calendar for your team or whoever the hell you want to be in it. I don't care. I'm just trying to stay alive till I can be president. I'll send my military into the Congo to find that evil witch doctor and he'll fix the nav for me. This is Compass Cat signing off. Pray for me.